Welcome to another Comic Art Fans Chat. I hope you're doing well this week. This is going to cover the period of July 27th through August 2nd, covering mostly the things that I think were the most popular artwork on the site. I'm going to skip doing the stats from the beginning anymore. Those are always consistent and are irrelevant. So let's just jump right in and talk about what artwork during that period was most popular. Up first is this great John Byrne, Terry Austin X-Men page from issue 134, Dark Phoenix Saga. Probably, as an X-Men fan, it's the period that most of us really appreciate the most. And, that was a great period in X-Men lore. Next up is this Kirby Coletta Thor piece from issue 131. Nice page. Kirby Coletta, always a bit of a controversy, of course. Then this piece here is once again by Mike Berkey. He squeezes another Gil Kane Romita Sr. Spidey 89 page into our midst. He's just dropping them once a week, it seems. Next up is a great Savage Sword of Conan page by John Buscema and Alfredo Alcala. Love this piece. I've always loved their work together. And, Buscema on Conan is always classic for me. This is a Flash Annual number 2, or Volume 2 cover from issue number 12 by Art Adams. I mean, the detail Art puts into things, it's always well worth the wait, isn't it? Next up is a Spawn number 45 cover by Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane. It's from 1996, and it is a fantastic cover. They always did a great job together, from the collection of Paul P. Here is a Dave Stevens Stargrazers cover, collection of Jim Reed. I really love this piece. Jim had a really nice story in the description for it, so I hope you read the description later on our website. This is a John Byrne, Mike Macklin, West Coast Avengers number 44 page. Love the action in this. This is, for me, a really nice period for Byrne's work. I loved his work on West Coast Avengers. This is in the collection of Dan Poddick, a Mark Buckingham Fables number 27 splash. Really beautiful work. Always love Buckingham's work on Fables, and this is a beautiful example. And talking of beautiful examples, here is a Barry Windsor Smith Conan Saga number 2 unused cover concept. It's in my good buddy Enrico Salvini's collection. It's a beautiful piece. And here's a Jim Starlin acrylic painted piece. It was a promo poster for Infinity War. It was done in 1992. Love Starlin's painted pieces. We certainly didn't get enough of it. His work, hopefully we can see some more sometime. And last but not least is this Weird Adventure Comics title page from Frank Thorne and Jim Aparo. Really, really cool stuff. Always love their work together. All right, now with that in mind, we can switch over and just talk about the dealers. Dealers just keep dealing. It was another great week with comic art dealers selling more this week than the prior period when they had the San Diego Comic-Con at Home event. The total sales for the week were $291,000 this week as compared to $280,000 the week prior to that. First up is a fantastic Spider-Man Venom free comic book day. This is the cover, but the sale was actually for the cover and the entire 10-page story. Sale amount was $22,000. A very good price for 11 pages of art. And next up is this Batman Max number 1 variant cover by Jim Lee, sold by Albert Moy. Asking price on that was $15,000. Another great piece sold was the Sin City Big Fat Kill number 5 page by Frank Miller. It went for $12,000. Another Stegman piece. This is from Venom 25. It's a DPS. The price on that was $10,000. And finally, a Animal Man number 28 cover by Brian Bolland. We certainly don't see too many of original pieces from Brian anymore, but this was the cover to number 28 and sold for $10,000. Now, auction houses, they were active, but certainly not as active as they were the prior week. Total sales this period were around $261,000 as compared to $312,000 the prior week. Heritage had some nice pieces, admittedly, and they were both, the top 2 pieces were by Herb Trimpe. First one is this Mary Severin and Herb Trimpe Tales to Astonish number 95 page, and it went for $6,000. Next up is again, it's a Herb Trimpe Jack Abel Incredible Hulk number 172 page. It's got the Juggernaut and the Hulk on it. Uh, you know, mixing it up with the Hulkbusters. That page sold for $5,760. And finally, the third highest sale from Heritage that week was a Ken Kelly Conan painting that sold for $5,520. Now, on eBay, it's been a bizarre kind of several weeks with eBay. They really haven't had a lot of standout items in their auctions, and this has been the trend really the last 3 weeks. This piece, I didn't even notice it when it was out there, but it was the first piece is this New Mutants number 87 cover prelim piece by Rob Liefeld. Sold for $7,877, and it had a lot of bidder action, so I'm not sure how I missed it. But after that, everything kind of drops off. The next two pieces are actually both by Mike Mignola and are part of his charity drive, raising money for the World Health Kitchen, I believe the name of the charity is. The second and third highest pieces both sold for $2,275. Now, as auctions go, there are two current auctions that are ongoing at the moment that are of note. Comic Link has their current focused comic art auction that ends on August 11th, and Comic Connect's latest auction just started on Monday, August 3rd, and I believe, I'll have to double check, I don't want to spill the beans and give you a wrong date, but I believe it's still about 2 weeks out before that auction is over. Now, cons again, of course, Mainframe Comic Con will be next weekend. I encourage you to check that one out. And as I mentioned last week, Comic Art Con is going to give it a go on Sunday, August 23rd. Anybody in the New Jersey area that can make it and socially distance and whatnot, I encourage you to go see that show. And then, of course, Comic Art Live will be November 14th and 15th. Now, one of the questions we got last week after my weekly update was a question about like premium memberships and why don't we charge for premium memberships. So it's a good question because I can assure you I get it an awful lot. And you know, CAF's been online for 17 years, and when we built it, it was really meant to be a free platform for collectors. And you know, and for me, I always want to keep it that way. I don't want to charge people. I've never really wanted to limit people on the number of pieces that they can show in their gallery. You know, like if a premium member could have unlimited and a non-premium could only show 100 or things of that nature. It just wouldn't work. I don't feel going back and trying to make changes to our business model. But like I mentioned to them in the chat, that I think that, you know, if more people were premium, of course, you know, we could get a lot more done on CAF. So it's a challenge to kind of, you know, have a system that really is based on us being able to provide a good service for collectors and artists and dealers, of course, and still be able to earn a living. Because at the end of the day, you know, CAF costs a lot of money to host. The dealer network that we host costs a lot of money. We, you know, at the end of the day, I think we spend almost $3,000 a month just in hosting all the sites and the content delivery network that we have in place, the backup systems that we run. You know, we back up our servers to the cloud in a way that if one of our servers died, or if our whole co-location suite burned to the ground, we would actually be able to have all our servers back up and running. And it's not cheap to do that. And that's something that we've put in place this past year as a safeguard to make sure the comic art community stays intact. You know, people don't know that. They just look at it and say, Bill makes enough money from CAF, from advertising and this and that, and he probably doesn't need a premium membership. But honestly, at the end of the day, you know, we do live kind of paycheck to paycheck. I usually have a little bit of buffer, but, you know, CAF is what it is. It's our full-time job. And, you know, if we had more premium members, it would certainly allow us to do things faster. You know, like the whole making the site mobile friendly. It's been on my to-do list for the last, I could say 5 years, really, because it's a question of how do you do it. If it's going to be me that's got to do the programming, I've got to be able to find the time to do that. And I no longer have Chris Haggard as my full-time design partner, so if it's not going to be me, then I'm going to have to pay somebody else to do that. And, you know, we're trying to find our way through things lately. Having Colin Solon do a lot of our editorial has really, really helped things out for me. But at the end of the day, you know, there's only so many hours in the day. So, you know, if people want to support us with a premium membership, we are always happy and are really, really grateful that people want to support us for that. Also, there's the market data program where you can search, several $100 million worth of sales from comic art dealers and auction houses in one place. We're thinking of adding back the eBay data that was removed a few years back that I think would take us back to around 2004. There's so much valuable data in there that we kind of had to remove at one point, but it's been archived for a long time, so we're debating whether or not we'll release that back into the market data, because it's back to that whole searching for things. Market data is great, that just finding a piece and knowing it was on the market helps you know that you can continue looking for that piece, that at least it was once out there and available. So with that in mind, what I'm thinking of doing in 2 weeks will be to do this chat live, actually, right? I think it'll be a lot of fun to bring in some pre-recorded videos to show the featured art, but also interact with everybody, and let's just see how that goes. If it works well, maybe I'll just continue to do these live and versus these pre-canned recorded ones. For me, I think that would be a lot more fun, because we could do a little interaction, Q&A, talk about the site, or really anything you want to talk about. I think that would be a lot of fun. So until next week, there'll be one more recorded conversation like this, and then I think that'll be live after that, and maybe it'll stay that way. All right, take care. It's nice chatting. I almost forgot. For everything that you just saw in this video, from the featured art to the market reports, there's a link in the description below to go back to CAF so you can look at all the artwork yourself when you have time. So I encourage you to do that, and please subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so you never miss another update from Comic Art Fans or Comic Art Live. All right, there you go. Now I'm done. Have a good one.